Hi, it's Michiels. I'd like to share with you guys how you can detox from heavy metals, parasites, pesticides, or anything else that should not be inside of your body with a pen and paper. And that's a method that I've been using for quite a while now. I've taught a lot of people this method that I'm about to share with you, and they got some amazing results, myself included and my whole family as well. So it is very simple, and I'd like to get through it with you. There are just 4 simple steps that you need to follow. So the first thing is you have to believe that this method is actually possible. Later on, I will explain the science behind it, why it works and how it works. But first off, it is important that you have a belief inside of you that it works. And if you cannot believe it right off the bat, there's a simple trick that you can use in order to trick your mind to start believing it. And that means that you just have to believe that I believe that it works. And I've proven it to myself and to a couple other people that it works. So I do believe it works. So simply just believe that I believe it. Okay? Step number 1. Step number 2, you need a pen on a paper. A pen, it could be anything that you can write with. It doesn't matter which style you prefer. Everything is fine. When it comes to the paper, it's a little bit different. You should make sure that you actually have a white piece of paper. So there are no lines attached to it. There is no trademark of any company or any other information on the paper itself. Make sure that it's clean. Optional for later on, you can use tape, scissors, and a thread to, further work around with the finished detox paper. We can get to that later on, but it's not necessary actually. The next thing that you need to know is the formula. So what you do is you divide the paper itself by 2/3 and 1/3, and what you then do is like this bracket. So just like this. And the first thing that you start with is the formula here. And this is kind of like an empty space because the rest of the formula is always the same. We just exchange this one word in terms of what we want to get rid of. So the first thing that I would prefer everyone to take a look at and check is the parasite detox. So I'll give you a quick example here. So what I would do is I would write down parasites. That's what I don't want inside of my body, right? So next thing is SE. I don't want the side effects when I do the detox and the parasites are leaving my body. I don't want to have the side effects that are sometimes, but not always, part of the detox process. We don't want these side effects as well. Another thing that we don't want is the prions. Those are protein molecules that are stuck in the brain. That's a very common disease that is actually hurting your brain, and we have found out that it is helpful to do that in every detox. What is it called? Yeah, every detox process that you actually go through. It is always important to have that on your detox as well. You can Google on getting more information about the prions disease to get more information on that. The next thing that we want to get rid of is the info ways. Info ways, as well as the info memory. Info memory. All right, and then we turn the page to the side and say x brackets minus 1. All right, so what does info ways mean, as well as info memory? We have an energetic field. So does our cells inside of the body, each cell. And the parasite, for example, has a physical form and an energetical form. And when the parasite is actually leaving the body in a very natural, optimum way, it leaves a trace of information. Like the physical thing is getting out of the body, but also the energetical signature is also impregnated into the cells that are directly next to the parasites, as well as whether it's the parasite or whether it's other chemicals, heavy metals and stuff like that, that should be inside of your body. So we want to get rid not of the physical way only, but also on the energetical. So that's why we want to get rid of the info ways, so the signature that is while the parasite is leaving the body, and the memory inside of the cells. So when the parasite is outside of the body, there's also this informational field that he has been there, and we want to get rid of that as well. What we then do is we put all of the information, all of that what we don't want, inside to the variable x and multiply it with -1. So that's the mathematical approach to set an intention to get rid of the stuff that the universe is actually cooperating with. Because when we focus on the things that we don't want, we send more energy into it. But with this small trick, we can get the stuff out of the body. What happens then? So we have written the whole detox. Now it is important for you to check whether you have parasites or not. And if you have them, how long do I need to carry that piece of paper onto my body? For how long, how many days until the parasites is leaving the body? Because you have an energetic field and you set an intention and therefore inform this piece of paper with your intention. And when you then put that piece of paper, you can obviously use a smaller part of the paper to not have it that big, and then put it inside of your pocket and keep it with you. So you have this energy field with the intention next to you always, and it's always inside the field of yourself and also in direct reaction to the parasites, the heavy metals and everything else. So you don't have to actually think about it anymore. You just have to take care that it is on you, right? And over time, the things will leave your body. But how do you check it? What I do, it's called kinesiology. Yeah, it's a tricky word in English. What it means, I do a muscle test. I speak with my body, with my subconscious, so to say. What I do is, there are multiple ways. You maybe know this one where you have your arm stretched out and someone is saying, you have to say no, and then someone needs to try to push down your arm and you have to make sure that it is very strong, keep it up that stage. And then you say yes, and the muscles normally on a yes are very strong and on a no they are weaker. So that way you can communicate with yes and no questions with your subconscious, with the information inside of your body. What I do is I first try to make sure that I am stable. That means my body is working correctly. What I do is I use this method, so I just make sure that my fingers are crossed with each other and I relax, and then I say a statement. I don't ask a question, I say a statement, which is, for example, my name is Bastian. And then I just pull as hard as I can for just a second. Okay, so my fingers didn't move at all. If I say, my name is Sophia, the fingers slip. I can try as hard as I can, but my name is not Sophia. My name is Sophia. Even though I'm trying, it's letting loose, right? So if it is not that my name is Bastian, my name is Sophia, I'm kind of like switched. So one thing that you could do is you two can do a grounding exercise by simply closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, and trying to imagine that energy from the earth is actually flowing through your feet, up your body, until higher above your head, and then from the exhale, down to the body again. That's an exercise that you can do very, very quickly. Another thing that you can do is you can drink a glass of water. Sometimes we're kind of like dehydrated, and then the system doesn't work as well. It's kind of flipped. So those are the two things that I know of that work to get into the right shape. So now I know my name is Bastian and my muscles are responding correctly. What I then do is I check, I say, I have parasites. I have parasites. Okay. To double check it, I say I am free of parasites. Okay, I am free of parasites. All right, that works. So I'm free of parasites. That's great. So I don't have to go through this detox. The second one is, wait a second. Let me say, how long do I need to do this detox? Right. So when I have parasites, the next thing that you need to know is how long do you have to take or keep the paper on you, right? So what I do is I say a statement like, I wear this piece of paper, like my detox, for more than 1 week. Yes. I carry this piece of paper with me, do the detox, for more than 2 weeks. No. Okay, so I know it's between 7 and 14 days, and then I go through all the days. Do I keep this piece of paper on me for 8 days? Yes. For 9 days? Yes. For 10 days? No. Okay, then I know how long I need to have this piece of paper on me. What you then can do is, because that happened to me a couple of times, you can turn it around, the piece of paper, where you have your detox, and then simply write down the current date and how many days you have to keep the piece of paper with you so that you know when you have to stop, right? That's a little hint there. So then you know how to check if you have this stuff inside of your body, and you can try anything that you want. You know how long you need to have this piece of paper on you. And once you're done with the first detoxing the parasites, the next one that you should do is to detox the heavy metals, but not just heavy metals, because we have made some not so great experience with that. We want to focus on the extracellular heavy metals first. The reason is this, even though we have written down we don't want to experience any side effects from all of this stuff leaving our body, when you just focus on heavy metals, it's like all the heavy metals that you have inside of your body. And those are those that are intracellular and also extracellular. And you don't want all of them just escaping your body, because it's a lot of work for your livers, for your kidneys and stuff like that, right? So even though you have written down no side effects, we have had a couple of people having hardcore side effects. So that's why we split it up into 2 separate detoxes. Right, so start with the extracellular, check if you have them, check how long you need to detox, keep that piece of paper on you, and again, very important, always do one at a time, one detox at a time. So when this is done, right, you then start with the next. And when it's done, you start with the next. Don't do more than one. We have had some guys trying that, and it's not so cool, really, not so cool. All right, so when you've been through all of that, you can experiment. You can go ahead and try all different things that you want to get rid of your body. And one thing that happened to me, especially when it comes to the heavy metals, because the first time I tried this method, I didn't have any parasites. I was directly with heavy metals in contact. And the thing is, I had to carry this piece of paper for 14 days. And 13 days, nothing happened. Like, I didn't experience anything. But on the last day, like when I went to the toilet, the smell was way off, really way off what I've ever experienced coming out of my body. And from the people that I shared this with, we had so many different experiences and stories, how their body reacted to it. So sometimes it is that the body is kind of like accumulating all of that stuff, and then with one push getting everything out. So don't get discouraged when you don't feel or see any results while doing this detox. It sometimes takes a while. And one thing also, one guy came to me, he was working with bees. He had a lot of bees at home and they had parasites, and he had this option to pour chemicals on top of them. A lot of them would die to get rid of those parasites. And then he discovered this technique since someone recorded a video of me sharing this detox core, and he tried it with his bees, and it took him 3 days to eliminate all the parasites for the whole bee family. I don't know the word for it, right? So he showed me some pictures on a seminar, and it was kind of interesting because we've tried the detox with our dog as well. So it's something that you can extend to pets, to other animals, to use this method. All right, so that's it for this method. That's how you can detox with pen and paper. Very simple. And if you have any questions regarding to this topic, just feel free to reach out to me. I am always available and always happy to hear some stories of yours and your people around you, how they've tried and what results they got. Yeah. So thanks for watching and take care. Yes, there was one thing I'd like to add. The tape, the scissors, and the thread. What was that for? Right. So what I did with this piece of paper for a couple of years, I was about to put it into my socks or into my underwear. But when you go to the toilet and you have it in your underwear, sometimes it falls into the toilet. So what you can do is you can actually use the thread to make yourself, what is it called? Man, I should have looked up the words. So you have your piece of paper and you have some tape and you have the thread and you tape it on there, and then you can put it on side of you like a necklace. Yeah, like a necklace. That way it won't fall into the toilet, and you can put it away when you take a shower. You can still have it on when you are about to go to bed, and you won't forget about it. Whenever you have it in your underwear and you like change clothes and stuff like that, sometimes it falls off, especially when they are very small. So therefore, yeah, that's an option that you can use as well. Take care.